everybody. This is Erin Pickard with Brand Properties Group, and I am out in Melissa visiting Daryl Tingwood. Tinglove. Of course, I knew I was going to say it wrong. At the Melissa Barn. So tell us a little bit about where we're at.
Yeah, absolutely. So this property was actually a place where I lived as a single guy. I always dreamed of having a house with a red barn and a white fence and horses, and ended up building this place and got it to where I wanted it. And then a few years later, I met Heather, and that's where we came up with HD Ranch.
Yeah.
And we had our horses out here, and she basically said that she didn't want to live here. And I'm like, oh man, now what am I going to do with this place? So I came up with the idea of putting this on vacation rental by owner.
Nice.
So we started in 2013 renting the house and got rid of the horses. And over the years, the people that were staying here, I figured out were brides that were coming and lodging at my location and then getting married at other venues. And then people started asking if they could do rehearsal dinners in the backyard, because there's a huge backyard with a pool and a cabana.
Okay.
So when you rent this property now as a venue, you actually get the entire property. It's 6.5 acres, so the house comes with it, the barn.
Awesome. Okay.
So you can the bride ends up getting ready there, or you can do a weekend getaway package and stay here for the whole weekend.
That's nice.
So we started out as kind of doing rehearsal dinners, and then ultimately I started converting this barn, and here we are today. Well, the vision was in my head. It was a matter of getting it out of my head and getting it out to where we actually can implement it. So we started out with the concept of cedar throughout the entire barn. And then I thought it was going to be too much, so I ended up coming up with this idea of using old reclaimed barn wood. And I found a guy on Facebook, and this wood came out of a barn in Arkansas. It was built in 1908.
When you moved out here and brought your horses out here or started that, did you have any idea you were going to do this?
I had no idea. I'm a home inspector by trade for
Okay.
24 years, so this property actually inspected for a client and said, if you ever want to sell it, call me please first.
Yeah.
And he purchased the house. 6 months later, he calls me and said, were you serious? And
I think it was meant to be.
I bought it then in 2005, and this barn, when I haven't mentioned this, I actually bought this barn on Craigslist. So me and two guys went and took the barn down. It was in Kemp, Texas, and moved it here and used it as a horse barn from 2006 to 2013.
That's neat. So your wife, is she a part of this too, or is it mainly your...
She gets, we're real estate investors also.
Okay.
So she gets involved towards the end when she can see the finished product, and she comes in and puts the girl spin on it.
Awesome. So super exciting. Your first wedding here was who?
That was my stepdaughter, Courtney.
Your daughter.
Yeah.
So it went well. And
yeah, we worked. The wedding was at 5, and from August to March 14th at 4 o'clock, I worked getting this place ready for her wedding. But it went off without a hitch. We had about 90 people here, and it was pre-COVID, so we actually got her wedding in before it blew up.
So tell me, if someone was thinking about having a wedding or a party or something out here, what would you say is the most special thing about it, or what they might love about it? Like, what's your favorite part?
Oh man, there's so many favorite things. I mean, this property basically has been a labor of love. I worked the land. There's 350 trees here. I planted every single one of them. I went to my sister's wedding, and there was a meandering path with trees. So all this property was horse property, so there was zero landscaping. So the trees are like my babies.
Yeah.
I'm out there, and at some point in time, they're going to look amazing. They look amazing now because there's so many of them, but
right.
At some point, they're going to mature, and it's just going to be picturesque. But the property, it's unique in that it has a house and a pool and a backyard, and so one of the things I realized as brides stayed with me just in lodging is that if you're a single day wedding, you have to be out of a place at midnight.
Yes.
So this one offers an opportunity to come in on Friday at noon and stay till Sunday at noon. So it really becomes more of a relaxed weekend. And
that's really nice, because that is hard when you have to get out that quick.
Yeah,
So.
I mean, so that is an option if a bride wanted to choose that. And actually, all the weddings I've scheduled for next year, they have chosen that weekend getaway package.
Well, yeah, wonderful. And then there's hotels close by. We're close to 75, so that's great for the.
Yeah, that's, you can't get this land any closer and any more convenient to those, the hotels and the highway. It's easy to get to.
Absolutely, and that's what we're seeing these days is the wedding venues are a lot further out, so it's 20 minutes to get to a hotel.
Well, I just want to thank you for coming out here and featuring this property. We're super excited about opening and starting to host events here and making the bride's day as special as it can be.
Absolutely. It looks like this facility you could even do like retirement parties or other kind of events too.
Yeah, we have Minuteman is a rapid response team in the area, and they respond to natural disasters nearby, mostly in Texas, but in some of the surrounding states that butt up to Texas. They're doing their benefits ball out here.
Nice.
And then we're talking to the Cattle Barons Ball, the Trailblazers Committee about coming out here in May or June of next year. So we're open up to charity events where basically I donate the facility, and but we host birthday parties, retirement parties, corporate parties. There's no limit to what you can do here.
So this facility holds about how many people?
Comfortably 125.
Okay, and then what's the next plan you're going to do?
Yeah,
you might as well tell us.
Definitely, I have a 3-year plan to build just on the north side of this building. This one's ultimately going to be the chapel, or the ceremony hall, and then I'm going to build an 8,000 square foot building that will have a really beautiful bridal suite, and that'll be the reception hall that'll hold 200.
Wow.
So you'll be able to have a 200-person wedding in here with just chairs with no tables, and then over there have the tables and chairs.
That's wonderful, and then you can go from one place to another, not have to take down and set up and things like that.
Flipping a facility is, during the midst of an event is challenging.
What I love about being here and meeting you is I can see the passion you have for this, and we don't always get to choose our passion. Sometimes it comes to us,
That's exactly
and I can see the love you have for this place, wedding venue.
Yeah.
So it's a privilege to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to keeping in touch.
Sounds great. It was a pleasure meeting you, Erin.
You too.